but most of the symbolism at Göbekli Tepe is all supporting this idea of a comet impact.
That's amazing.
Turkey stands at the crossroads of civilization, a land where continents meet, empires rise, religions evolve, trade routes flourish. For thousands of years, Turkey has been the heart of human history. In modern conversations about ancient history and lost civilizations, even popular thinkers have been amazed by what Turkey holds beneath its soil. On the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan himself described the scale of the ancient ruins in this region as shocking. Each location represents a defining chapter of world history that continues to influence modern civilization. Stay with us as we journey through Turkey's timeless wonders. Ephesus. Ephesus is considered one of the most important archaeological sites in the Mediterranean world due to its exceptional preservation and historical influence. Founded by Ionian Greeks in the 10th century BCE, the city developed under successive rulers, including the Lydians, Persians, Hellenistic kingdoms, and eventually the Roman Empire. Each era contributed to the city's urban design, architecture, and cultural identity, making Ephesus a layered record of ancient civilization. Under Roman rule, Ephesus reached its golden age, becoming the capital of the province of Asia. Its wealth was derived from maritime trade, agriculture, and craftsmanship. Although the ancient harbor has since silted up, archaeological evidence shows complex canal systems and roads that connected the city to global trade networks. Marble-paved streets, public bath, gymnasiums, and fountains demonstrate advanced urban planning and a high standard of living. One of the most sacred structures of Ephesus was the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. This massive temple was a religious and economic center, attracting pilgrims, merchants, and artisans from across the ancient world. Although only fragments remain today, its scale and influence shaped religious architecture for centuries. Ephesus also played a crucial role in early Christian history. The city hosted the Council of Ephesus in 431 CE, which shaped Christian doctrine. St. John is believed to have written parts of the Gospel here, and tradition holds that the Virgin Mary spent her final years nearby under his care. Decline came gradually due to earthquakes, harbor, silting, and political change. Despite this, Ephesus was never completely forgotten. Continuous excavations since the 19th century have revealed new structures, inscriptions, and artworks offering invaluable insight into ancient life. Ephesus stands today not merely as ruins, but as a comprehensive record of ancient religion, commerce, politics, and daily life. Grand Bazaar. The Grand Bazaar of Istanbul is not merely a marketplace, but one of the most enduring urban institutions in human history. Established shortly after the Ottoman conquest of Constantinople in 1453 during the reign of Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror, the bazaar was designed as the economic backbone of the new imperial capital. Its creation marked a deliberate effort to transform Istanbul into a global center of trade, finance, and craftsmanship, connecting Europe, Asia, and the Islamic world. From its earliest days, the Grand Bazaar functioned as a highly regulated commercial system rather than an informal market. The Ottoman state viewed trade as a pillar of stability and prosperity. Prices, weights, product quality, and ethical conduct were strictly controlled by imperial authorities and guild organizations. This structure protected both merchants and consumers and ensured long-term economic confidence. The bazaar became a place where trust was institutionalized and commercial disputes were resolved according to established legal and moral principles. The physical layout of the Grand Bazaar reflects this advanced economic vision. Covered streets radiate from central corridors, forming a maze-like network designed to manage crowds, secure valuable goods, and protect merchants from weather and fire. Domed ceilings provided ventilation and natural lighting, while thick stone walls increased security. Caravanserais located within the complex served as storage spaces, workshops, and lodging for traveling merchants who arrived from distant regions, including Persia, Central Asia, North Africa, and Europe. Each section of the bazaar was historically organized by profession. Goldsmiths operated near the central vaults where security was highest. Textile merchants occupied long corridors that allowed fabric display and airflow. Leatherworkers, metal artisans, ceramic makers, and spice traders each had designated zones reinforcing professional identity and quality control. This organization strengthened guild culture and ensured the preservation of specialized skills across generations. Today, the Grand Bazaar is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the world, welcoming millions of visitors annually. Yet beyond tourism, it remains a functioning commercial center serving local residents, jewelers, exporters, and artisans. Its continued operation after more than 500 years makes it one of the longest continuously functioning markets in existence. The Grand Bazaar stands as a testament to Ottoman economic intelligence, urban planning, and cultural continuity. It represents a model of sustainable commerce, where architecture, regulation, community, and tradition combined to create an institution that transcended time. More than stone corridors and shop fronts, the Grand Bazaar is a living archive of human trade, creativity, and social cooperation at the heart of Istanbul. Bosphorus Strait. The Bosphorus Strait is one of the most strategically important waterways in the world and has played a decisive role in shaping global history for thousands of years. Stretching for approximately 30 kilometers, the strait forms a natural boundary between Europe and Asia, making Istanbul the only major city on Earth that spans two continents. By connecting the Black Sea to the Sea of Marmara and onward to the Mediterranean, the Bosphorus has functioned as a critical maritime corridor linking Eastern Europe, the Caucasus, Central Asia, and the Middle East to the wider world. From the earliest periods of human civilization, the Bosphorus determined patterns of settlement, trade, and military expansion. Ancient Greek city-states relied heavily on this passage to transport grain from the fertile lands north of the Black Sea. Control of the Bosphorus ensured food security, economic stability, and political influence. Persian armies crossed the strait during their westward campaigns, while the Athenians and Spartans recognized its value during conflicts that shaped classical history. Under Roman rule, the Bosphorus became the lifeline of Constantinople, which emerged as one of the most powerful capitals in world history. The Byzantine Empire invested heavily in fortifications, naval defenses, and administrative systems to protect the strait. Constantinople's survival for over 1,000 years was directly tied to its control of this narrow passage. Massive walls, chains across harbors, and naval fleets were all designed to secure the Bosphorus from enemy control. The Ottoman conquest of Constantinople in 1453 marked a turning point in global history and transformed the Bosphorus into an imperial artery of the Ottoman state. Sultan Mehmed II constructed Rumeli Hisari in record time to control naval traffic and cut off Byzantine supply routes. This fortress remains one of the most striking examples of military architecture designed specifically to dominate the strait. Under Ottoman rule, the Bosphorus became a symbol of imperial authority, wealth, and continuity. Along its shores, the Ottomans built palaces, mosques, fountains, and waterfront mansions known as yalis. These structures reflected both political power and refined court culture. In the 19th century, Dolmabahce Palace emerged as a symbol of modernization, blending Ottoman tradition with European architectural influence. It later served as the administrative center of the empire and witnessed key moments in modern Turkish history. Beyond military and political importance, the Bosphorus has always been a channel of cultural exchange. Traders, diplomats, scholars, and travelers carried ideas, languages, technologies, and traditions across its waters. This continuous movement shaped the identity of Istanbul as a cosmopolitan city where civilizations intersected rather than collided. In the modern era, the Bosphorus remains one of the busiest natural waterways in the world, governed by international treaties that regulate maritime passage. It continues to influence regional geopolitics, energy, transportation, and global trade. Despite modern bridges and tunnels, the strait retains its historical character as a living link between past and present. The Bosphorus is not merely a geographical feature. It is a force of history where nature dictated the rise and fall of empires. Its waters have carried armies, merchants, pilgrims, and cultures, shaping the destiny of civilizations and leaving an enduring legacy that continues to define Turkey's place in the world. Cappadocia. Cappadocia is one of the most extraordinary cultural landscapes on Earth, where geology and human history are inseparably intertwined. Located in central Anatolia, this region has served as a crossroads of civilizations for thousands of years due to its strategic location, fertile valleys, and naturally defensive terrain. Unlike conventional ancient cities, Cappadocia's heritage is carved directly into the land itself, making it a unique archaeological environment shaped as much by nature as by human ingenuity. The foundations of Cappadocia's landscape were formed millions of years ago through intense volcanic activity. Eruptions from Mount Erciyes, Mount Hassan, and Mount Gulu blanketed the region with thick layers of volcanic ash. Over time, this ash hardened into soft, tough stone, which was gradually sculpted by wind, rain, and temperature changes. The result was a surreal terrain of cones, pillars, and ridges known today as fairy chimneys. These formations were not only visually striking, but also remarkably easy to carve, allowing early inhabitants to transform natural rock into shelters, places of worship, and entire communities. Human settlement in Cappadocia dates back to the Bronze Age, when the Hittites established underground refuges to protect themselves from invasion. These early subterranean structures later evolved into complex underground cities. Derinkuyu and Pamukkale are the most famous examples, reaching depths of multiple levels beneath the surface. These cities were capable of sheltering tens of thousands of people for extended periods. They contained ventilation shafts, water wells, kitchens, food storage rooms, schools, stables, and chapels. Massive circular stone doors could seal off passages, providing security against enemies. The engineering precision of these underground cities demonstrates advanced planning and a deep understanding of geology and survival strategies. Cappadocia gained profound importance during the early Christian period. As Roman persecution intensified, early Christians fled to remote regions where they could practice their faith in secrecy. Cappadocia's hidden valleys and rock formations provided ideal refuge. Communities carved churches, monasteries, and living quarters directly into cliffs and canyon walls. These rock-cut churches were often richly decorated with frescoes depicting scenes from the Old and New Testaments, serving both educational and spiritual purposes for largely illiterate congregations. The Gorim Open-Air Museum preserves some of the finest examples of Byzantine religious art in Anatolia. Frescoes dating from the 10th to 12th centuries reveal stylistic influences from Constantinople while maintaining regional artistic traditions. The imagery reflects theological developments of the period and provides insight into the spiritual life of medieval Christian communities. Beyond religion, Cappadocia functioned as an important link along trade routes connecting Asia Minor to the Silk Road. Caravans passed through the region, transporting silk, spices, and precious metals. Caravanserais were constructed to support commerce, further integrating Cappadocia into broader economic networks. Despite invasions, political change, and population shifts, Cappadocia remained continuously inhabited. Its adaptability allowed communities to survive through Roman, Byzantine, Seljuk, and Ottoman periods. Each era left traces in architecture, language, and cultural practices. Today, Cappadocia is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site valued for both its natural formations and cultural legacy. Conservation efforts aim to preserve its fragile rock structures while allowing visitors to experience its historical depth. Cappadocia stands as a powerful example of human resilience, creativity, and adaptation. It is not merely a destination, but a living record of how civilizations shaped and were shaped by the land they inhabited. Bodrum Castle. Bodrum Castle, also known as the Castle of St. Peter, stands as one of the most striking symbols of medieval military architecture on Turkey's Aegean coast. Its strategic position overlooking the natural harbor of Bodrum reflects centuries of conflict, trade, and cultural exchange in the Eastern Mediterranean. The site itself has been of importance since antiquity, when the ancient city of Halicarnassus flourished as a major Carian and later Greek settlement. The castle was constructed in the early 15th century by the Knights of St. John, also known as the Knights Hospitaller. At the time, the Eastern Mediterranean was a contested region threatened by Ottoman expansion. The Knights chose Bodrum for its defensive advantages, including a sheltered harbor, elevated ground, and proximity to key maritime routes. Construction began in 1402 and continued for several decades, resulting in a fortress designed to resist both land-based and naval attacks. One of the most remarkable aspects of Bodrum Castle is its connection to the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. After earthquakes severely damaged the mausoleum, its stones were repurposed by the Knights as building material for the castle. Marble blocks, reliefs, and columns from the ancient monument were incorporated into the fortress walls. This reuse of materials physically embedded classical antiquity into medieval architecture, creating a rare fusion of historical eras within a single structure. The castle's towers were built and maintained by different European national groups within the Knights Hospitaller Order. The English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish towers each reflected the identity, resources, and architectural preferences of their respective regions. This multinational structure symbolized the international character of medieval crusading orders and their shared mission of defending Christian territories and maritime routes. Architecturally, Bodrum Castle represents advanced medieval military engineering. Thick walls, narrow passageways, and elevated battlements were designed to withstand artillery and siege warfare. The inner courtyards, chapels, cisterns, and storage rooms allowed the fortress to function independently during prolonged conflicts. Its design reflects lessons learned from centuries of crusader warfare in the Eastern Mediterranean. Turkey is not just a country. It is a living archive of world civilization. From ancient cities buried beneath the earth to monumental structures still standing against time, Turkey preserves the story of humanity itself. These archaeological and historical sites are not merely tourist destinations. They are timeless classrooms that teach us about innovation, belief, resilience, cultural exchange, and the rise and fall of civilizations. Each site reflects how geography, power, faith, and creativity shaped human progress across thousands of years. As modern travelers, viewers, and learners, we share a responsibility to understand, respect, and preserve these irreplaceable treasures. By exploring their history, we ensure that the lessons of the past remain alive for future generations. If you found this video informative and valuable, please like the video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth videos about ancient civilizations, historic places, and World Heritage sites.